Greetings and welcome back to the Auditing and Assurance class. In our today's lesson, our attention is on ISAE 3000, International Standard on Assurance Engagement, number 3000. International Standard on Assurance Engagement, number 3000. Now, this standard, which is known as Assurance Engagements, it is titled Assurance Engagements Other than Audits or Reviews. Assurance, this is titled Assurance Engagements Other than Audits and Reviews. Now, in our previous sessions, we discussed auditing as an assurance engagement. We also discussed audit reviews, as another example of audit assurance. Now, it's worth noting that there are other audit engagements or assurance engagements apart from audits and reviews. Now, this standard deals with other assurance engagements apart from audits and reviews. Assurance engagements other than audits or reviews of historical financial information. Okay, this guideline, ISAE 3000, is a set of guidelines that are issued by the International Auditing and Assurance Standards Board. Issued by the International Standards on Auditing, International Standards on Auditing and Assurance Board. International Standard, International Auditing it is issued by the International Auditing, all right, and Assurance Standards Board. International Auditing and Assurance Standards Board. Okay, it is issued by the International Auditing and Assurance Standards Board. This is the body that issued the ISAE 3000. Do you understand? Which is a set of guidelines, and this guideline provides a framework for auditing of assurance engagements other than audits and reviews. Now, the purpose of the ISAE 3000, the purpose of ISAE 3000 is to provide a framework for conducting and reporting on assurance engagements that are not audits or reviews of historical financial information. Because you've seen that an audit is an independent examination of the financial statements. Okay, audit review is also the examination of also financial statements. But other than auditing and reviewing of financial statements, there are also other types of assurance engagements. And it is this standard that provides a set of guidelines on how to conduct and report on assurance engagements other than reviews and audits of historical financial information. So in this lesson, we are going to give examples of these audits that are not, these audit engagements, these assurance engagements that are not audits or reviews. Do you understand? Yeah, of course you do, because we took time to discuss audits and reviews. In our last session, we gave a distinction between audits and reviews as assurance engagements. Okay, so what are these audits? I mean, assurance engagements other than audits and reviews. Examples include performance audits. One, performance audits. Now, a performance audit is an assessment of the effectiveness, efficiency, and economy of programs, functions, or activities. If you have a program, or you have an activity, or a function, okay, an organization may want to find out if such a program is efficient or effective or economical. In order to determine whether a program, an activity, or process is efficient or effective, then performance audits are carried out or performed. So a performance audit is not an audit of financial statements. And how it is done, the standard gives a guideline on how to carry out performance audits. The second example is compliance audits. Now, corporations operate in highly regulated environments. Companies, organizations, businesses are required to adhere to many laws, regulations, procedures, policies, and so on. And if these policies, procedures, law, regulations are not adhered to by an organization or a company, then it poses a risk to a company, what we call compliance risk. So then it is necessary to carry out evaluation of whether an entity has complied with laws, regulations, whether an entity has complied with contracts, internal policies, and so on. So the process of evaluating or examining to find out if an organization has complied with laws, that's what we are referring to as compliance audit. And a compliance audit is not an audit of historical financial statements. And it is such audit that the standard seeks to give guideline. So ISAE 3000 is a guideline. You understand? It is a guideline that is issued by the International Auditing and Assurance Standards Board. That's the second example. All right. Then we have internal control audits. Internal control audits. Internal control audits is the examination of the design, the examination of the operating effectiveness of internal controls over financial statements or financial reporting. So an organization can also carry out internal control audit. 4, sustainability. There is what we call sustainability reporting assurance. Reporting assurance. Sustainability reporting assurance. This refers to the verification and the process of verifying. It is the process of verifying the accuracy and completeness of sustainability reports. Okay. So there are many other more audits, like the environmental audits can also be carried out, which falls under the same standard. So these are 4 examples of assurance engagements other than audits and reviews. Now let's proceed and outline some of the key principles of and even requirements of this standard. Key principles of the standard. The first key principle of this standard is ethical requirements. Ethical requirements. Ethical requirements. Ethical requirements. Now, practitioners, when carrying out assurance engagements other than audits and reviews, must adhere to ethical principles, including independence, objectivity, professional competence, due care, and so on. That's the first principle, ethical requirements. Quality control is another principle. Quality control. Firms must have system of quality control in place to ensure that assurance engagements are conducted in accordance with professional standards. If you are running an audit firm that carries out these assurance engagements other than audits and reviews, then you ensure the auditor has to ensure that there are quality control system in place to ensure that assurance engagements are conducted according to professional standards. 3, planning and risk management or risk assessment. Let me call it risk assessment. Planning and risk assessment. Professionals or practitioners must plan the engagement and assess the risks of material misstatement. Planning is a key principle when it comes to carrying out this kind of assurance engagements. Of course, there is the point on evidence, where the professional has to obtain sufficient appropriate evidence to support their conclusions. Then lastly, reporting. Reporting. An auditor must issue a written assurance report that communicates their findings, that communicates their conclusions to the intended users. So these are the key principles of assurance engagements other than audits and reviews. We've given 4 examples of such audits. Here is your today's assignment. 1. What is the purpose and scope of ISAE 3000? Which types of engagements are covered under ISE 3000? 3. Explain the key principles and requirements of ISE 3000. 4. How does ISAE 3000 contribute to enhancing the credibility and quality of assurance engagements? That is your assignment. In our next lesson, you are going to study accepting appointment to perform assurance engagement. Bye.